again, we getting ready for the rollout to the world. So he wanted to make sure he put on that great performance for the fans. Be great, trust me. Y'all want y'all guy to come out and put on that show for y'all, trust me. Because I'm looking for that fight where we had back in the days when y'all said, yo, that was an epic fight right there, and that's what we looking for.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this.
Heard Brady's mouth for years now saying I need to fight a real boxer.
He got to fight a actual fighter, like a fighter.
Who was somebody you could see him fighting, like a real you?
Well, little man, congratulations. You got your wish. Friday, November 14th, Atlanta, Georgia. Once again on the biggest platform in the world, Netflix. Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul.
The boxing world is in shock after Gervonta Davis's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, unleashed a fierce warning aimed directly at Jake Paul during a fiery press event that left the crowd buzzing. Famous for his blunt and passionate style, Ford didn't hold back, making it crystal clear that facing Tank would be a dangerous mistake. With tensions growing between established boxing elites and social media fighters like Paul, this exchange has set off heated debates.
My journey's crazy. That's why I said that. Yo, you can't write this, man. You cannot write this. My experience being gone, all the stuff that I went through, preparing me for where I'm at today. You know, that Tank is over. He had the lessons, getting his lessons of what he got to do to take us the rest of the way. And this is his take us the rest of the way fight.
Recently, the usually unshakable bond between Davis and Ford faced a brief shift. Ford wasn't in Tank's corner for the Lamont Roach Jr. fight, not due to issues, but as part of a planned adjustment. Nothing's really changed, Ford explained, stressing that their training system stayed intact despite his absence. He reassured fans that their connection—
I ain't even gonna ask you that question on camera. What? I'm talking about family at this point. Cause you pulled up with just somebody else. You didn't even pull up with your team you pulled up with. We ain't see Calvin. Yeah.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
I think he came a little late though. I spoke to him.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
All right, because
I just seen Calvin too. But that's another thing. Calvin is someone that he's like, when I ain't had no pops, Calvin was the person that you feel me, stepped in that shoes. So no matter if he's not my coach, anything like that, he's always gonna be in my life.
And that's why I said I would have asked that question off camera because I already know. So I ain't, but you already cleared it.
For Davis, Calvin Ford has always been more than just a coach. He's been a mentor and guiding figure since Tank's earliest days in Baltimore. Meeting Davis at just 7 years old in Upton Boxing Center, Ford played a huge role in keeping him away from the streets and locked into boxing. After serving his own decade-long prison sentence, Ford committed his life to mentoring kids, ultimately shaping Davis into a multi-division champion. In the ring, he
You know, Calvin, he been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at a seafood restaurant in Baltimore.
When I had to train Tank, when I didn't want him to get in trouble and I wanted to make sure we was together, I used to take him to work with me. And he'd chill. Everybody know him. Everybody know him at work.
Remember, Calvin used to fuss at the guys that was coming up with me, and they was in the streets a lot. He was telling them, like, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You gotta be, like, all the way in it. Like, focus on the goal, you know, and them guys, they went left, and unfortunately, they got killed.
You weigh the odds out like that. Do you want him to go to jail or you want him to live? That's the whole idea, to come to the boxing gym.
If I ain't had the people I had around me, like the people that started with me and things like that, I probably would have been off the scene for a long time.
When asked about Jake Paul, Ford didn't mince words. He insisted Paul stands no chance against Davis. In his eyes, Tank is simply too fast, too powerful, and too skilled for Paul to last. Ford pointed out that while Paul has beaten influencers and faded names, stepping in with Gervonta is an entirely different level of danger.
Tank was the first one in the gym, the last one out the gym. Tank used to sit on the ring like this and watch me train him.
How old is he at this point?
He was like 7, 8.
Okay.
A lot of stuff that I was giving my son was giving it to Tank. So it was a perfect fit. Tank was like the family, you know what I'm saying? And he used to sit at the table because I had another kid named Ramon Manning. He liked to play with them guns, you know what I'm saying? And when I lost him, I was hurt because that was my first time losing a fighter that you put so much into. Remember, I said, Tank, my money running out. And he just looked at me and said, believe in me, coach. Believe. That's what did it.
When he said that, that's...
It's still...
Damn.
I don't hear Tank as the day. I hear Tank as that little boy. Believe in me, coach. And he came in the gym one day and he said, Coach, I seen it. I said, what you seen? I had all the belts on me. He said, I'm gonna be that dude. The rest is history.
Damn, I got goosebumps low-key. That's kind of crazy.
UFC icon and commentator Daniel Cormier shared a similar reaction to the shocking news. Known for being outspoken, DC was stunned at the idea of one of boxing's most dangerous knockout punchers going up against a YouTuber-turned-boxer. While acknowledging Paul's surprising success, Cormier questioned whether he deserves to be anywhere near someone of Tank's pedigree. His reaction reflects the ongoing battle in combat.
I swear to God, I was on a plane coming home from Las Vegas. When Luis told me Gervonta Davis is fighting Jake Paul, I said, get the bleep out of here. I said, you're a bleep liar. Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. Gervonta Davis is that much better than Jake Paul at boxing. But Gervonta Davis in his last fight weighed 133.8 pounds. And I'm not over here in the business of just crapping on Jake Paul. I am much more respectful of what he's starting to build as a professional boxer. You're fighting a guy that's better than you. He's just much smaller. But that guy, because he's better than you, what if he wins? Everything Jake Paul has done is wiped completely out. Gervonta Davis loses to Jake Paul. Obviously, it's going to hurt who Gervonta Davis is. But he lost to a guy that's going to be upwards of 70 pounds bigger than him when he steps into the boxing ring. But I will tell you this right now, without a shadow of a doubt, I will watch this. Tank Davis is 30-0-1. You want to talk about Jake Paul fighting a real boxer? That's a real boxer. You can't make this stuff up, man. It's true. They're fighting.
Still, Cormier admitted Paul has grown, saying he respects how Jake has built his name to the point that streaming giants like Netflix want deals with him. But even with that respect, he warned that Davis is simply better, stronger, and more natural. It's wild, Cormier added, noting the obvious risk, but also stressing that while Paul may face real danger, Tank is far less to worry about.
We were yelling so much about him fighting someone, fight somebody your size. His next opponent is, by far, the most credentialed guy he's ever fought. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds.
Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back, blasting the matchup as nothing more than a cash grab fueled by fame rather than real boxing. He labeled it an outright embarrassment, stressing that stage spectacles like this disrespect true competitors and cheapen the art of the sweet science. In his view, fights of this nature trade discipline for drama, reducing the ring to a stage for entertainment instead.
I can't buy the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please, with sugar on top. I'm interested.
Steven, I wanted you to come on the show to tell me that you think I'm a great boxer?
I think you're a damn good boxer with a lot of potential. And I got one problem with you, and I told you this already. You are skilled. You cannot be going in the ring beating up on dudes that you know don't box. You can't have a basketball player, UFC fighters. No, they strike. They don't box. There's a difference. They're not on your level.
Meanwhile, other fighters have stepped forward with warnings of their own. Bare knuckle fighting championship star and former UFC fighter Mike Perry voiced his confidence, boldly declaring that he plans to take Jake's head home. Perry emphasized his battle-tested experience and insisted he's fully prepared to face Paul. He also accused Paul's team of protecting him from real threats, claiming he's been shielded from danger. His words underline both his determination and
I've been succeeding consistently, and I've been getting better every single day. Put this little twerp in his place. He's new to this game. Welcome. Welcome. You just got here. Don't worry, you're gonna get what you've been asking for. And you're gonna get tired. You're gonna be grasping for air. I made a new word, grasping. You're gonna be grasping for air, but Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to...
Rising lightweight Emiliano Vargas, son of boxing great Fernando Vargas, also slammed the Davis Paul fight as a disgrace, pointing to the massive weight difference between the two. He argued that mismatches like this damage the credibility of boxing and distract from genuine contests that matter. Recently, Vargas reacted to Jake Paul's clear-cut 12-round win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., showing that while he isn't directly challenging Paul, he's keeping a close eye on a YouTuber's moves inside the sport.
I mean, look, like, he's not accepted. I mean, look, he's a YouTuber. People know that. But you gotta respect it, man. The only thing you do is respect it. But, you know, that's it, man. You gotta respect it.
Easy work. What do you think of the end? Any of them hurt you?
I just think Chavez didn't get started. That's the only thing. I mean, you can't win.
I want to be world champion. Zerto looks slow as shit tonight.
You can't win if you don't throw, you know, so it was kind of like the Ryan Garcia-Rollies thing. You know, Rollies didn't, I mean, Ryan really didn't get started, so, you know.
What do you think about how Jake looked and then fought?
Hey, you know what?
You're very tough.
If he sucked ass, he sucked ass, but he actually looks pretty good. There's people who walk into the gym, you can tell right away if they can box or not, so. He can box, he's selling out, you know, obviously this arena, and the only thing I can do is take a page out of his book and, you know, put it towards my showmanship, so.
Do you think he's ready for someone like top 15, top 20?
I mean, look, you know, he knows who to fight. Obviously, he's, you know, growing in his career. If he really wants to make a career, I wish him nothing but the best. But I just think that, you know, it's going to be a little longer until then.
Thank you, I mean, appreciate it. Oh, give us an update about you. You got a date coming up.
July 26th, Madison Square Garden. I'm ripped up, I'm ready to go. Ran with Manny Pacquiao yesterday, and you know, 15-0 on the way. Let's go, baby.
Thank you, I mean, appreciate it, man.
My brother, appreciate it.
Rising lightweight Emiliano Vargas, son of boxing great Fernando Vargas, also slammed the Davis Paul fight as a disgrace, pointing to the massive weight difference between the two. He argued that mismatches like this damage the credibility of boxing and distract from genuine contests that matter. Recently, Vargas reacted to Jake Paul's clear-cut 12-round win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., showing that while he isn't directly challenging Paul, he's keeping a close eye on a YouTuber's.
How does Jake Paul do versus Anthony Joshua?
I think Ngannou, I'll ask you this follow-up. Ngannou lasted about halfway through the second round, I believe, before he got knocked out. Do you think Jake Paul gets knocked out earlier or after that?
I think after. I think Jake Paul's gonna be a lot smarter than Ngannou and like not try to test his nuts with Anthony Joshua early on. So you know how he fought Mike Tyson, kind of like stay on the outside jab, kick the jab, use his foot. Because he is athletic, you know what I mean? So he has some athleticism in him. Kind of just move your feet and see if he can kind of like get AJ the guy in a position to take advantage of that. So I think it'll go longer than 2 rounds for sure.
On his podcast, former 2-division world champion Sean poured a weight in, calling the matchup nothing more than a spectacle that doesn't add up from a sporting perspective. He questioned its credibility, especially with the clear size gap. Paul around 200 pounds and Davis just 135. Still, Porter stood firmly in Davis's corner, declaring with confidence, "I'm putting my money on Tank by knockout."
But also, what do you say? Like extend where the sport is. You know what I'm saying? So that's. And again, I'm not saying that it's disrespectful to put Jake Paul in the WBC rankings, but how can he go from 3 whatever to 15, 20, 25?
It just makes you feel better. He's number 52 in the United States.
Oh, that's what's up.
In cruiserweight.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That makes you feel better.
I gotta read this welcome letter from Saudi right quick because this one killed me. First of all, let me let y'all know.
Is that the for you to go over there?
Yeah. So K Abdo.
Take your wife?
No.
Caleb Plant, however, gave Jake Paul some credit, praising his courage and dedication. He pointed out that stepping into the ring under such bright lights, with the risk of losing everything in front of the world, shows true character. Plant respected Paul's decision to enter boxing despite his fame outside of it, even tipping his hat to him for taking that.
Do you feel like guys like Jake Paul are good for the sport?
Jake Paul, you can hate him, you can love him, but he didn't have to start boxing. He was financially well off before that. So if he's going to take up all the training and the sparring and everything that comes along with that when he doesn't have to, you got to tip your hat to a guy like that. I know he's come up short in his last fight, so he'll never get the respect of all the fans, but now he has a chance to get the respect of his peers, more importantly. And that's to show that just because he came up short and took a loss, that he's not willing to back down from what he said he wants to be, which is a boxer. So we'll see moving forward how bad he really wants it.
Veteran fighter Jesse Hart has been outspoken about Davis's career path, voicing concerns that Tank is chasing paydays rather than the legacy-defining fights fans want to see. Hart argued that Davis is letting financial gain overshadow greatness, warning that this approach could stop him from reaching legendary status. His comments mirror the growing criticism from boxing purists who feel Davis is wasting his prime.
If you want to join the circus, man, that's the circus. If you want to join the circus, that's the circus. I don't see the value. I just see money involved in that. If they want the money, if that's what they want to do, then go ahead and go ahead and get the money. But other than that, I'm not. You got a guy, Jake Paul, that's what, 6'3", 6'4", almost. Then you got a guy, Gervonta Davis, that's like 5'5", a little guy. Yeah. Y'all gonna try to, who's 200 pounds, just for Mike Tyson there, I'm gonna throw him in there with a 135. It's just a circus, and that's what they want to do to get money, to generate money in the sport of boxing instead of Gervonta Davis. This is a legacy fight. He was supposed to fight Lamont Roach after this, and then he say, no. Think about it. You really can't say too much. When you say Gervonta Tank Davis and you say Lamont Roach, there's still a question mark on that fight. There was still a question mark on that rumble. You just gonna leave it and then go right to the money and say, no, I ain't. That's how you know legacy and everything don't matter. I did that before. I took the money with the Joe Smith fight when my hand was fucked up and, excuse my language, my hand was messed up, broke in training camp, and I still said, yo, no, I'm taking that, I'm still fighting him.
Fans were left outraged when whispers of Davis versus Paul began circulating. A clash between a 200-pound YouTuber and a 135-pound lightweight champion. Many labeled it a money grab, dismissing it as a parody of boxing rather than a legitimate contest. Critics fear this trend could damage the sport's future. Ryan Garcia himself lamented, "The integrity of boxing is getting ruined every day. And if Davis were to actually lose, the fallout would be explosive." The undefeated knockout artist falling to a crossover star would flood social media with memes, clips, and endless commentary.
Tank Davis cannot lose to Jake Paul. And this is the fight you all want to see. You might say, what are you talking about? We get to see if Jake Paul's really like that or not. Tank Davis' legacy is on the line. People already are questioning Tank for ducking fights. You can't lose, because if you do, you're gonna turn into a meme because you lost to Jake Paul. So you're ducking fades and then you lose to Jake Paul. What are you gonna do? Because nobody believes in you.
Nobody believes in you.
And for Jake Paul, you might say, wow, well, this is disrespectful to boxing. These are two entertaining people. You may not like this, but I guarantee you're gonna be tuned in for this. And if Tank loses, I never want to hear about Tank again.
So what do you think? Does Jake Paul really have a chance against Gervonta Tank Davis? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to stick around for more fight updates.